Did you know that the word emotion dates back to the 16th century from Old French emouvoir, meaning to stir up, and Latin emovere, meaning move out, remove or agitate. Emotion thus represents an internal movement or energy that causes disruptions to our neutral physiological state. In today's video, we are going to reflect on why many of us allow our emotions to control us and how we can process them quickly and in a healthy way. But first of all, let me introduce myself.
Hi, it's Monika, your intuitive trauma transformation coach, who helps you face and successfully navigate through the storms of life, guiding you through a most powerful self-healing process and teaching you all the mindfulness tools you need to embark on your journey to your core self and create the life you've always envisioned.
How often do we judge and criticize ourselves when something goes wrong? How often do we crumble to unworthiness when someone we love does something that really hurts us? How often do we experience anger and envy toward others when we actually want to feel happy for them? Do we ever pause to ask ourselves why we are reacting the way we are? Why is it that I'm clinging to failure? Why is it that I'm sabotaging my own well-being for someone else's mistake? Why is it that I'm so envious of this other person's success? We have never been taught how to process our negative emotions in a healthy manner. But the biggest culprit of all is because we don't know how to process our emotions, we fall into the trap of clinging to them, and so they become an integral extension of who we are. Hence, we mistake our emotions for our identity. We allow them to define us. Emotions are an essential part of what we are and who we are, but they are not who we are. Yes, they can be messy, complicated and confusing, but they are not there to control our life. They are there to guide us forward on our path. There are no good or bad emotions, only good or bad reactions. Emotions just are automatic reactions that manifest in our body as we are triggered by external stimuli. Even though we have no control over them, we have the power over how we respond to them, how we behave after we feel what we feel, and how we allow our emotions to impact us. Whenever we feel threatened and afraid, the amygdala automatically activates the fight, flight, or freeze response. This automated response has allowed humans to survive and escape wildlife danger from the hunter-gatherer days, and it still compels us to react instantly and mindlessly, just without thinking. When we are triggered by a threatening external stimulus, there is and I don't know if you knew, there is a 90-second chemical process that happens in the body. But after that, any remaining emotional response is just the person choosing to stay in that emotional loop. In other words, for 90 seconds, you can watch the process happening. You can feel it happening. And then you can watch it go away. After that, if you continue to feel fear, anger, and so on, you need to look at the thoughts that you are thinking. The thoughts that are re-stimulating the circuitry, resulting in you having this physiological reaction over and over again. And as you repeatedly engage in the same survival patterns of thought, feeling, and action, they encode as a blueprint in your subconscious mind. And what does our subconscious mind do? It runs 95% of our life on automation. That's precisely what Carl Jung once said. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Did you know that there is a difference between emotions and feelings? Emotions are messengers. Feelings are our conscious and subjective expressions of our emotions and assign the meaning to the emotional experience you are having. They are the stories you tell yourself about a specific emotion so you can make better sense of it, right? Hence, your feelings are heavily influenced by your childhood memories, limiting beliefs, and collective associations. And that's why different people react differently to the same situation. Make sense? We repeat what we don't repair, because we naturally seek comfort in what's familiar to us, even if it's harmful to us. It's always easier to keep doing what we've always done and behave in the way we always have than to change, as change is unknown and we fear everything we don't know. Rumi provided us with great advice when he wrote, "Although you appear in earthly form, your essence is pure consciousness. You are the fearless guardian of divine light. So come, return to the root of your soul. When you lose all sense of self, the bonds of 1,000 chains will vanish. Lose yourself completely. Return to the root of your soul." This means when we lose our sense of worldly self, which usually happens during, for example, meditation, the bonds of the chains of thought and emotion vanish. When we remind ourselves that we are not our mind, our emotions, or our body, but the being underneath, we begin to dissociate ourselves from whatever we are experiencing. we raise our awareness and begin to create distance between the stimulus and ourselves. We begin to observe, and once we are able to do so, we have a chance at understanding why we feel the way we do. And only then do we have a chance at understanding why we think the way we do. Only then can we crush the shell and find the inner pearl that is our true self. Before I share with you what we can do to process our emotions in a healthier way, please click on subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell as well. The most important rule to process our emotions in a healthier way is don't resist or suppress any emotions, because then they simply continue to persist in your reality. You cannot run away from fear or anger or guilt. They will chase you. When you run away from your emotions, you give more power to them. You ignite them. They become louder, clouding your sky and filling it with noise. Remember, emotions are part of our survival mechanism, and they will persevere if we dismiss their importance. They have a message to tell you. So instead of suppressing them, validate them and then change their meaning to you. Don't fear them. Accept them all without any judgment and allow yourself to feel them fully. Yes, I know how hard this is. Believe me, I went through the process. I had swollen eyes from crying, but I broke free and it was worth it. Emotions are messengers and they are trying to tell us something. So let's take a deep breath and begin asking ourselves some questions. Tap on the side of your hand and say, although I don't understand the message yet, I deeply and completely love, accept and forgive myself, and I'm open to receiving guidance. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as a kid who felt like you feel right now. Take this kid into your arms and tell them that it's okay to feel what they feel. Try to empathetically and compassionately understand why they are feeling this way. Dig deeper. What's the pattern emerging here? As an adult, you have the choice to delete this encoded program and replace it with a better one to set yourself and your inner child free. Look into your inner child's eyes and tell them, I take responsibility for both of us and our healing. Tap through the tapping points with me, saying, I'm ready to face the darkness. I'm ready to free both of us of our inner emotional traumas and pain. I deeply and completely dissolve their hold on both of us. I choose to set us free now. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. By processing our emotions, we learn and grow and make sure not to hold the grudge inside, so that it doesn't become poison or a trigger point in the future. By processing our emotions, we find meaning in them, and hence we see the good in them. If you like this video, you can make a big difference in other people's lives by sharing it. And please don't forget to let me know what you liked or how it helped you, and whether you have any questions for me in the comments box below. And like always, peace begins with me. Namaste, namaste. And remember, you deserve to break free and live your magic.